Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all they got. I'm going to the top. On grind. I'm moving in. On grind. Right on the way to the top. 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 On grind. I'm going in. I'm like that. On grind. I'm gonna win. Flip these. The letter I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Still an attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. On grind, I'm moving in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I did it. On grind. I'm going in. Got me like, on grind. Woo! Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. On grind, I'm moving in. On grind. Right on the way to the top. 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 On grind, I'm going in. I'm like that. On grind, I'm gonna win. Flip these. finished. I just needed me a minute. Still an attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. Wanna see my ambition. I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop.
Guys, welcome back to League of Legends, Legends Ascent South Asia. It's just me, Madness, today, but we're going to still have the same amount of fun that we usually have on these kind of streams, on these kind of games. If you guys have been up to date, it is Qualifier 2 going on, and it is Semi-Final 2. It's going to be between Tren Abusers and Revenants. Revenants, if you don't know, they have changed their name from last time. They were called FFing last qualifier, so you should be familiar with the game. They unfortunately finished 4th, meaning they had to participate again in this qualifier just to go for the next tournament. Now, talking a bit more about this, how we are formatting the tournament going on. This is the prize pool, as you guys know, one of the biggest ones you'll ever see. 10 lakh prize pool for League of Legends is nothing to be scoffing out about. But as well, a spot at the LCP wildcard playoffs, and that's what I think most people have their eyes on. Along with their money, that's a good bonus. But the LCP wildcard playoffs is the spot that people will be focusing on the more. How we got up to late qualifier one's all done in the past. We're already almost finished with qualifier 2. We're on the penultimate day of the qualifier. Qualifier 3 registrations will be beginning between May 26th, and you might want to tune in for that to the teams who unfortunately haven't made it to this stage of the game. After that, we'll have the main Legends Ascent tournament from the top 3 teams from each of these qualifiers in the league stage, and then the playoffs will be between 25th July to August 3rd. And yes, continue on. This is one of the most important tournaments for any team out there. That LCP Wildcard playoff is on the line. And then talking about the main tournament, which is our Legends Ascent, which all these qualifiers are leading up to. 3 from each of the qualifiers equals 3 into 3 equals to 9. 9 teams league, round robin league stage. And that's where it'll be a lot of action-packed, teams facing out people who have already faced during the qualifiers. The top 4 of them fight out in a double elimination playoff. The first top of that will be your eventual champion with that LCP wildcard spot for themselves. And as you know, everything we're doing till this point and further on is full fearless draft, guys. Champions picked in game 1 can't be picked by anybody in game 2. If you are unfamiliar with how fearless is working right now, talking about it again, today's schedule, it is semi-finals 2. It's best of three series as usual with our semifinals. Tren Abusers going to be on your blue side, while Revenants have taken the red side. I believe uh, Revenants are one of the teams you have to look out for in this tournament, given that they were the fourth last time. So that's a huge thing coming in for them, right? Unfortunately, just missing out on that spot to Phoenix Ascension in the third, fourth place match. Even that game went all three games. So Revenants are looking for a way back climbing into Legends Ascent, and they are, in my opinion, at least the tournament favorite, at least currently going into this matchup and further along in this qualifier. So they're definitely a team we have to look out for. Did phenomenally, in their quarterfinals, did pretty good throughout the tournament, barely dropping any games, and now they're against Tren Abusers, right? Tren Abusers, also a good team, used to be NS Esports, now rebranded Tren Abusers, playing for themselves, have a couple of strong people in the team, very well known faces in the community in both teams essentially. So these matchups will not be, the players will not be unknown to most of you, so you're going to have a good time watching them battle out on this rift, and can't wait to see what kind of action they bring out between these kind of sides, because it's going to be pretty good. Yesterday's BO3 did go pretty well as well. It was, a roller coaster kind of matchups going either way. Shuba haters pretty much down and out in the beginning of the first game, came back very, very flawlessly. Did took all the opportunities provided them. One game one, game two going onwards, pretty even at least until the 15-20 minute mark, and then blown a bit open by the side of Shuba haters. So whoever wins today going to be facing against Shuvo hitters, and whoever loses is not out essentially of the qualifier, right? Because they're going to face against Jetfire Dojo for the third to fourth place matchup, and that's going to be a very interesting matchup as well. That will be streamed on the Discord after the finals that will be streamed tomorrow. So yeah, a lot of league going on this weekend, a lot of action packed. Unfortunately, due to the servers lagging a bit, we have delayed the start of the tournament. But don't worry, guys, we are always more than ready to deal with any circumstances that befall our way, and that kind of spirit, we're moving and marching along forward. I can't wait to actually see what they try to ban out. People usually target Potato Monster with the smaller bands, the Tristana bands, maybe something like that. Unfortunately, in the last matchup I think he played, only the Smolder was banned against him, so Tristana was allowed first game for him, and they didn't end up winning that game. So that is also an interesting point to be noted. So let's see what kind of draft strategies both these teams try to bring to the occasion over here. It's going to be interesting to say the least about these kind of teams. And I think you guys know FFing, a pretty strong team. We have a lot of good players in the team. Bob, Black Thief, very good support. Him on that Blitzcrank, phenomenal hooks landing from that man. You have pretty much a good, well-rounded roster. The Unseen Blade in the mid lane. So I can't wait to see if we're gonna get a best of three, like if we go all three games, or do Revenants try and end it out in a 2-0 fashion like yesterday? But it's still going to be a tight match no matter which way it goes, and I still believe it can even go all the way, all three games between two teams of this caliber. So you have to wait and watch to see what eventually happens in the rift and the kind of drafting that is going to go on between these kind of teams. And another further reminder before we even head up into the further along in the day, please make sure to follow our social medias. The link is in the description box below. You're going to find our Discord, our Twitter, our YouTube. A lot of things are action packed over there. The Discord, we have a brawl event going on. It's not ended yet. Less people have at least submitted for this event, but the last auction that we did for the ARAM tournament was a big success. So we would like to see that kind of community interest. We did see a lot of it last time, and we are listening to your opinions and maybe designing our future events according to them. So we might even have more auction packed gameplay in a different kind of game mode moving forward. So make sure you hit up our Discord, join it, so you never stay too far away from the action going forward. We have a lot of general chats. You can just join in. We have just fun times together. People stream their games there. Sometimes we just have fun discussions, and new players who are like very new to the scene, you can get very good tips from people from our veterans there over there. People who are just looking to have some fun time, pass some memes about our favorite game, League of Legends. It's always a good point to go on. But yeah, moving forward, it's it's looking like it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath, I think so, at least game one onwards, where most teams will get their favorite pick champions, because Fearless Chef won't honestly effectively kicking at least into game two. So you have to see what the teams really want to go game one. Do they want to pull out their favorites early on, or they would keep it later for their own strategies moving forward? But yeah, that's pretty much it about the matchup going on. And definitely, I think Shuvo hitters will be watching this matchup very closely because whoever wins ends up facing them, and they would really want to do some scouting on these targets. They did have a couple of chinks in their shell, at least in yesterday's games, and I think they're reworking around their game plan according to that. Very strong team nonetheless, and very good that they're one of our finalists. So at least we know in the finals we're going to have even more action-packed gameplay because one of the teams, Shuvo haters, is involved in that. So can't wait to see action coming in from them. We have slowed down quite a bit. We do have this thing, and then we have qualifier threes registration is going to be opening up pretty much right after the tournament. So people who unfortunately did not make it to this part or got knocked out, maybe didn't even get to a chance to participate due to maybe personal reasons, please make sure to hit that up so you don't miss your last chance to maybe reach that Legends Ascent South Asia. Mind you, everybody who qualifies for Legends Ascent, no matter even if you finish last place in that tournament, you still get a pretty good amount of prize money for yourself. So it is a good opportunity. And the Tristana was banned out from the side of Tren abusers Revenants, choosing the Irelia, the Darius, and the Ilaoi ban. We did see Sekiro play a phenomenal Irelia game, so that's nothing to share about from him. Then we can see Tren abusers. Instead, this is a good strategy coming in from them. Instead of banning Potato Monster Smolder, they banned the Tristana. They picked the Smolder, so Smolder can be used in game 2 onwards, and that's what they use as their first pick. And the Mordekaiser, one champion that we say if it doesn't get banned, usually gets picked, and that's essentially what trend abusers do. Already locking in that Zinja, very good jungler in the comps that he goes for. Revenants, you can see that Proteus is going to be playing on the Caitlyn this time, while you can see Shoxy Kun will be maybe driving the Braum for himself. And then you can see that Viego was also picked before we just went back. But yeah, we can see some interesting picks and bans. I like that strategy coming in from trend abusers where they, pick the Smolder first game and ban out the Tristana. So it leaves less options further on going. So they don't have to use two bans essentially game one. They can just, ban away Tristana, pick up the Smolder for themselves. I don't know how well they are on the champion, whoever their ADC is, but hopefully they do a good job of it. And we get to see Potato on the Caitlyn. So interesting matchups, already a bit feisty between these teams. And yes, both teams do know each other pretty well, so they know which preferences they want to go for, and they go for more targeted bans than overall meta picks. Because right now, I think strongest ADCs going wise, like I like Callista and LCK is going gameplay is going on. Now the Senna ADC is also back in meta, so a lot of different options going on. The Viego pick yesterday, RD did a phenomenal job on the Viego Red Devil, and he picked up an MVP for himself. So a champion that has to be a bit feared due to just those resets that you get in team fights. If you get one reset, often the Viego can pretty much chain reaction off onto the team fights, pretty much neutralize any threats coming to him. They also have to stop the Smolder from stacking up too fast because Smolder late game, we all know what a menace that champion can be, and you have to be very aware of it. Mordecai is always looking for an opportunity to take someone to Brazil, and we'll take him into his realm, see how they want to play around that. But yeah, these are the champs you saw right now. Also, guys, in your in the YouTube chat, please make sure vote for, or just cheer on your favorite teams, be it Trend Abusers, be it Revenants, because both teams I'm pretty sure have a lot of support from overall in our community, and they would like to see those things maybe after the match or even before. It gives them a bit of motivation heading into these kind of matches. But we're going to resume with the draft over here. It does seem that, as same, it's going to be the same pick bands, because this is how it goes. If it gets disturbed the first time the draft, it's going to be that. So you can just take a closer look as it goes on. We already know the first three gems. The Braum Caitlyn is not a combo you usually like to see that much from their side, but maybe they just want to prevent anything else further on. Maybe a Jinx Braum also good, Lucian Braum also good. Lucian really good in the meta right now. But the Shen bat does give advice to recent changes in patches, because Shen is being a beast in the top lane. Even if he falls behind in CS, he has such an effective impact in team fights. It's beyond measure almost, like what this champion can do in the team fights that surround him. And being a team player and being how this team's likely to go around, I really want to see how they want to draft further on. Now we're gonna enter the second stage of banning pretty soon once the champions get completely picked up from what we've already seen. Xinjiao, a nice pickup. I do love a good Xinjiao player, because his early gank potential is so high. Even the Viego, pretty much with his W, can do a lot. Doesn't be that effective until level 6, but Xinjiao, even pre-level 6, a beast to deal with. Just want to see which lanes are going to end up getting banned. Now we get into the second phase of banning. It's going to be the Zillion being banned out from Revenants. So they don't want to see a Zillion paired up with the smaller. I haven't seen that many Zillion players, at least in our scene, or maybe they just don't end up picking it when it comes to these competitive types of matchups. Trade Abuser is going to answer back with an Ornn ban for themselves. And he has an Ornn, pretty good champion to, blind pick for yourself. So they're going to want to erase that out of the picture. Now going down to Revenant's last ban of the game, they're going to choose the Silas, which is interesting because not that many good ultimates to steal as of yet from Revenant's side. And Trend Abusers answer back with the Zeraf ban. I'm really interested to see how they want to play out over here because Shoxi-kun hasn't been playing the tournament that much. He's been as their sub, and it looks like they have subbed him in for the day right now. So I really want to see what Shoxi-kun can pull off and if he can, relate to his team, maybe pushing it to the finals. So we might have a more action-packed matchup, and they're going to lock in the Volley Bear. So that's a Volley Bear top getting locked in from Churn ready. And is it going to be the Amumu answer? That can't be right. They've already picked the Zinja. I don't think that's a Zinja mid, is it? Or unless MF Artist wants to play the Zinja mid. It's a bit on the dice on the edge right now between what trend abusers really want to go for. Xin Zhao mid. I haven't seen that much since Thorfinn. Pretty much Thorfinn means Nero from Asterix plays this. But no, unfortunately, it's going to be the Xin Zhao mid. It's going to be the Victor locked in. So pretty good scaling comp from the side of trend abusers with the Smolder and Victor. It's about if they reach that stage of the game because the comp looks pretty strong, but you have to reach a certain point for them to be, useful in those kind of team fights and the way you want to play around them. Now, the Alistar being covered here by Drunzer for himself. He did have a good Alistar game in the quarterfinal, albeit that it was against a team which had two DCs. He did have very good rooms, and instantly, even before any hesitation in the minds of Revenants, they lock in that Annie mid for himself. We've seen Annie be a bit of a hit and miss, at least competitive wise, in the SA region. AK-45 doing a phenomenal job on this champion. He hit a couple of 3-man, 4-man timbers with this, and even Akshaj brought it out in the best of 5, if I'm not mistaken, in the finals of qualifier 1. He didn't have that much impact. Unfortunately, that's the game that Asterix did also end up losing. But Annie, a very good champion, got a couple of buffs, I think 2 patches ago. So you're going to have to keep all those changes in mind when you're going to be thinking about these comps going in. Also, about which kind of comp do you guys prefer in the chat over here? The left side looking pretty strong, but stronger on the mid to later game side. The Zinjao does make up for that. Early ganks will be coming into effect, and maybe that's what they're trying with their game plan. Churn ready on the Volibear. Haven't been seeing that many Volibear tops also recently. We've been seeing a lot of Eloys. That maybe gives precedent to why the Eloy has also been banned. Sekiro also, I think so. After the game where he dominated as Irelia, he did end up picking the Eloy for himself. And he did a good job in the top lane, did manage himself pretty well. So maybe all these factors coming into when these teams are deciding about how they want to, move forward in this matchups over here. But yeah, we have locked in both sides of the draft. As you can see, this is game 1 of the best of 3 series. So this is not, the death of either team. Whoever loses does get another chance in the game. But you really want to end up winning game 1. It does give you a huge momentum boost for yourself, and it does put a good spin on your mental moving forward. Ezreal, always a fantastic jungler to watch. His jungle bats are, something you can study if you're, a new and improving jungler. Bob will be piloting. Usually he is, if you are familiar with Revenant's game, he is their support player. So it's a bit of a move. Right now, I think the unseen play maybe unfortunately not available right now. So that's why Shoxy-kun's been brought in. He's been put onto that Braum in the bot side. Gonna be wanted to see what the Braum Caitlyn can do bot side, because Caitlyn, a bit of a lane bully against someone who's very weak early on, being the Smolder on the side of trend abusers. So I want to see if Potato Monster can put in that pressure and maybe try and win out lane early on, especially with the Braum, stacks coming in, Braum launches the queue. But Alistar, very good disengage for yourself. Let's talk a bit more about the CC impact coming in. Bob, if he gets a phenomenal timbers in fights, can change their perspective. Turn ready can go initiate tower dives pretty easily for themselves. He also has good initiate. Braum ultimate coming out. Then top from the trend side of trend abusers, Zinjao always can go in. Sekiro can isolate fights just for between him and himself. So it's going to be about how Sekiro manages the top lane against the Volibear. Should not have that much of an issue. as well as the Alistar will be coming in, will be finding that meat shield for his team and try and act as a buffer between these between trend abusers and revenants moving forward. But yeah, a lot of nice smiling faces coming out over here. I don't think we've seen that many of trend abusers faces. We have seen revenants faces quite often in our tournaments. So it's a nice change of pace coming out. Potato Monster, as always, smiling there with his arms crossed very nicely. Asian, ah, what a beauty. And yes, predictions. Any predictions in the chat between which team will end up taking at least game one based on the drafts you've seen? Maybe just predicted based on just the drafts you've seen from each team. We always like to see the feedback between players and how you guys are thinking when you head into these tournaments, especially people of such high rank moving forward. But yeah, maybe Potato Monster really wants to just put the Caitlyn out this time. He did have a very good Twitch game in his third game in the last matchup that he played. So that was something I was maybe hoping to see out of him. But yeah, Caitlyn, very strong lane building. Potato Monster wants to maybe assert a bit of dominance when heading into the lane. So don't fault him for that. Now, Smolder picked up another team. He can pick that up. Tristana's out of the picture due to the bans. So all in all, pretty very targeted bans from both teams, and I can't wait to see the action going to go on the Rift. Maybe with the Braum, you can do a pretty good, strong level one. I think in one of the matches I casted for, or not casted, I saw at least a Potato Monsters team, Revenants in the Discord server, was them stacking up in those bushes on the bot side between next to the lane. So let's maybe see if they're trying to go for level 3, especially with the Braum in your pocket. That's something you really want to go for. Level ones are very, very strong, effective with how his passive does end up working with his Q. So maybe we see early on aggression. Maybe that puts behind the side of the Smolder. The Smolder, very weak late game, has to stack it up. Victor also really wants to get his evolutions for himself, so his ult, exceeds in size during these team fights. But yeah, I'm expecting maybe a bit of what I saw yesterday, being that the late game side team maybe fall behind early on, maybe try to come for a comeback later, especially like yesterday you saw Shuba Haters with that Jinx later on became the protect the president method over there. The Jinx did phenomenal in the team fights later on going forward. So maybe some sort of thought of that with now you have two presidents being the Victor and the Smolder. But yes, that's all in theory, guys. We're going to be heading into the Rift. This is quarterfinals to semi-final two. This is the best of three series between trend abusers and Revenant. Already, as I the Revenant's already predicting that I predicted a bit of them going on the bot side quite well for themselves, and that's exactly what they've gone for themselves. They're setting up already in that bush, and the Smolder Alice are pretty aware that they'll be spotted on that ward. Smolder are trying to just get a bit of chunk damage. Another Guardian pop from Shoxy-kun. They're going to be walking away. And that's the meantime, Xinjiao very smartly takes that opportunity, puts a ward down in the blue buff. So he has added vision, knows where the junglers will be starting for the side of Revenants. But other than that, not much action early on over here. Shoxy-kun Potato is still being a bit cautious about how they want to play this out, while you can see the Smolder Alistar already making camp in those bushes over there. Dronzer, even the spacing had put the ward early. It seems that you can see the Xinjiao has picked up a sweeper for himself, while nobody has sweepers right now on the side of Revenants. They can't clear out the ward in that middle bush, but Shoxy-kun with a Q to the face of Digita, but Digita has given more poke essentially onto the Caitlyn and Braum. So let's see how that matchup goes on. Bob in the meantime over here will be just trying to farm a bit with the spacing. This is the lasers of the Victor. It doesn't look like Digita. Potato Monster is not afraid to take a couple of shots to the face if he can dish out the damage. Digita honestly should have a bit sidestepped that Q. Because of that, the trade's now going to affect on the side of Potato Monster's side. He's popped his health pot while Digita's still not gone for the health pot pop. He does have the biscuits in his arsenal that will be coming up. Potato Monster nicely with keeping good range. Walks up anytime he has the headshot, puts it down. Bob proccing the execute onto Victor in the mid lane. Now here's the 4 stacks. Maybe we can look to maybe dish out trades going more in his favor. Now junglers, unlike yesterday where both junglers starting on the same side of the map, Xinjiao will be starting top, going bot, while Viego will be starting bot to top. Now Viego has a pretty good tempo. He's already reached his rates, while Xinjiao still not moved to the bottom side of the map yet. So maybe with this added pressure, it could work for him, but his Volibear is already pushed in the wave quite a bit against Churn Ready over there, while the bot side is pushing as well. So both, the top and bot for the side of Revenants pushing in this waves pretty nice and efficiently. Smolder are going to have a hard time stacking. Turn already getting pulled in by Secure. Secure's shield not popped in time. Did lose quite a bit of HP in that exchange. Bolívar going for that Jack of Trades rune page as well. As you can see, goal pretty even, only 3 minutes in. Not much action except for the Viego having a much higher tempo than the Zinja right now. Expected to have Viego be going for his clears. Bob, again another electrocution proc, but it's still not enough to, win out on the trade. I would say MF Artist is definitely winning the trade. Even has a health pot in his back pocket whenever he wants to go for that use. Potato Monster's health has significantly increased with his health pot. Smaller yet to pop his. Churn ready. Keeps on trying to go in, gets away, but nice Secure E to push him away from him. Secure taking quite a bit of damage and falling quite significantly behind in the terms of CS. He has to manage this wave that's going under down, try to CS as much as he can. Churn ready. The flash bomb with the E secures the kill. Wait, hold up in the mid lane. The Victor gets picked out by the duo combo of the Andy and the Vigo in very quick succession when we thought nothing was happening. 2 kills picked up by Revenants. Churn ready. The ballsy play in the top side, instantly knowing the limitations of his champion. Flash forward into that E that he was already bringing proc onto the turret, picks up the kill onto the Mord in the mid lane. Unfortunately, Victor getting a bit, ganged up by Bob and Ezreal running him down. So it's Ezreal who picks up a kill. It is going to be Churn ready who picks up a kill for himself. Runs are coming, going to head but Choxicun away. The sun does land, but not much else is going to be going on over there. Choxicun brings out his door in his face. Look at this. Gary Striker has walked up. There is no vision from the side of Potato Monster Crew. Choxicun should not walk up too much because here comes the Xin Zhao. The headbutt comes in. The flash dash to the Caitlyn. It's not going to help him survive. The Caitlyn has to net away. There's a flash being popped by the Alistar to go forward, and he almost did land it onto him, but nice timing of the net from Potato Monster. So that's a kill getting answered back by the side of Tren abusers onto the pick, onto Bob, onto Choxicun, who just walked a bit too much ahead, maybe not anticipating. A hextech flash from the Alistar over the wall. Potato Monster does have flash, chooses to be greedy with it, and still survives. If the Ignite was proc Bright Rounds, that would have been a kill. Maybe they thought they even managed to get it. Potato has to burn both summoners, but maybe she had flashed a bit early, had the HP to maybe even stay in lane. He's still choosing to stay here, maybe pick up these minions. It's a huge wave. Dronzer diving under third. Dronzer? He does it for the Ignite onto the Caitlyn, but Caitlyn gets a return kill onto the Alistar. Now, Vegeta's in a whole world of trouble. Not many places he can go. Choosing not to fight too much, trying to get as many stacks again. Ezreal picking up his second kill of the game. And that's going to be the feats of warfare going over to the side of Revenants. That's a bit of a greedy play by the Alistar, diving so deep just to get the kill on the monster and to trade his own life. It's your ADC getting a kill to the support getting a kill. I know it was a kind of big wave coming in under the turret. I still don't think it was of that much of essence that you had to go for a dive like that. But Drake now being started up by Revenants. Here comes Dronzer. Remind you, Annie doesn't have flash. He does burn the tippers, does get the stun, but here is backup. Here comes Choxicun. Here comes Ezreal. A lot of damage being dished out. The cow still not level 6. Can't dodge a lot. And now the form transfer is enough for Ezreal to push away the Xin Zhao, but Xin Zhao gets stunned up. Xin Zhao going very low. He dives forward onto Bob. He does secure the kill. Is still surviving a lot. Ezreal gets another reset. They're going forward onto MFRTC. He doesn't have mana, doesn't have flash, and that's Potato Monster going to be picking up a kill for his troubles onto the mid laner of Tren abusers. And it looks like a free Drake is also on the books for them. So very, very fast. Ezreal giving hyper accelerated 4 kills within around 7 minutes for himself and 7 kills for his entire team. Plus, you get first Drake. So a very good start for the side of Revenants right now, and this seems like maybe getting a bit already out of hand. Already a 2.4k goal lead for them. The top is also getting bullied. Not many winning lanes at all for the side of Tren abusers. Secure has to be careful when he wants to go for these trades. The Tren ready will win them out. His W already procced on him. Another W gives him the heal, so any damage you want to go. He takes him to Brazil underneath his turret. He does have to flash away from the E, so maybe not what you want to do. There is no jungler nearby. Churn ready does have his ultimate, is ready, looking to pounce. He's trying to get him far away from the turret, so if he pounces onto him, Secure doesn't have many places to run to. But I think that's the end of that exchange. Churn ready around 18 CS up currently onto the Mordekaiser. and the rest of his team also doing phenomenally. Potato Monster already 2 kills to his name, has a BS sword picked up. It looks like the Smolder only has inserted dirt as well as a long sword, so Caitlyn going to be dishing out quite a bit of damage in the lane while just been trading. But look who's here. Dronzer's here. So is Gary Striker. There's no flash and turn ready. Dronzer can stop him over here, but he uses his ultimate to get out. The Ignite was already popped by Dronzer before even the engage landed onto him. So maybe a bit of a wasted Ignite. Churn ready gets out. Has to use his ultimate. But yes, I think I would say if you pull so many members, it looks like the Drake that was picked up by Revenants is going to be answered back by Tren abusers going for the grubs. You can see Viego's walking up to the grubs as well. Maybe he wants to try and steal one of them away. But I think it's going to be pretty hard. The pink ward not negating the side that the Ezreal has put out. Bob's coming in. Here comes the Tibbers. Here comes the land. And Ezreal goes in, gets onto the Alistar, changes form, pushes it back, pushes the Zinja back into the pit, claims his kill. But Volibear is going to be paying for those sins. Sekiro's fighting away. He doesn't have his R, mind you. Can't take anyone to Brazil. MF Artist is soon to follow. It looks like Sekiro will also be following suit into the gray screen. So that's a 3-for-1 in favor of Revenants. They do pick up one of the grubs for their troubles. But yes, nice ward placement from Ezreal, and the pink ward just couldn't negate the vision that was picked up by the Viego over there. It looks like a bit of lane swaps coming in. The Potato Monster's already gone to mid side. You can see the Volibear keeping bot, and he's gone top. And Ezreal, oh my god, how fat is this Viego? He's 603, 550 gold bounty, and it's only been 9 minutes of the game. Albeit in that fight, they did lose 3 members to the side trade, but they do manage to pick up 2 of the grubs. So maybe that's a bit of a consolation prize, but not looking good at all for trend abusers right now. Yeah, but now after all that, no objectives right now. A bit slow down in paces. Potato Monster and Sharks going back to the bot side of the map. Smolder did pick up, I think, that kill in that fight, so he'll be pretty happy about it. Maybe scales a bit more. Bob going to be matching against Sekiro over here. Look at the amount of damage Bob is already dealing with, just the Malignance build for him. Sekiro's going to pull him forward. He's going to take him all the way to Brazil. Bob now has ultimate, but the Tibbers didn't proc with the stun. Bob uses his next ability. Nice flash from Bob. Down goes Tibbers, but so does Mordekaiser. Well played by the mid laner of Revenants. Nice flash away from the Q of the Mordekaiser. Does survive, picks up a nice chunky wave for himself. And that's the Mordekaiser dying for the 3rd time this game. Not a good game right now from the side of Sekiro, at least. Did have the best of time laning against the Volibear. Almost maybe had the upper hand on the Annie in that fight, especially when the Tibbers was not a stun Tibbers that landed, not a fourth, proc Tibbers landing on him. But still, fancy feet work from Bob. Nice flash, gets out of the exchange. Oh, look, a bit on the setup onto Digita. Digita has to be careful about walking up. He's going to look to walk up. Ezreal's still waiting. He just walked a lot forward. It looks like Dronzer was coming in for a gang, but now they are going to get blindsided. But look who's here. Here comes Gary Striker. Potato Monster flashes to get some distance, but the W, the tip of Zinzhao's spear hitting onto the backside of the Caitlyn, just about getting the proc of Dronzer. Flash forward, heads butts the Braum backwards. Who's going to end up getting the kill? Should give it over to Potato Monster, but a bit too much spacing being created. Gary Striker having to pick up the kill, and they're going to be hitting a lot on this turret, looking to be picking up the first third of the game. So what looked like a setup essentially from the side of Revenants with Ezreal hiding that bush gets completely Uno reversed in the favors of Tren abusers, and this is one of the victories that they will surely take for themselves. Nice proc of the electrocution by Bob on to the victor in the middle lane. Now this first turret seems very shortly about to go down. You had 4 members hitting it, now you have 3 members hitting it. There is no way you can protect this. You have to back away as Bob. Bob gonna get hit yet again. Dronzer have been forced to proc the ult. A nice trap setup. A lot of roots coming onto Dronzer. Dronzer, you have to get out of this. You have no backup. They're choosing to use him as a scapegoat, essentially. Dronzer, you did not have to walk up that far. You had the turret. Just walk out. But unfortunately, the big cow gives up his life, and Caitlyn will be picking up the kill. Nice stun by Bob. The electrocution there, plus the Tibber is going to claim that. Will Bob go down to the ultimate? He does. So that's an even trade between both mid laners over there. In the meantime, Sekiro has taken Churn ready all the way to Brazil. Churn is waiting for the W resets. Nice ultimate onto his face. The W reset. A lot of health being proc. Will the E get it before the auto attack of the big bad bear claims the kill onto the Mordekaiser, who's unfortunately seen the gray screen for the 4th time this game. So after such a nice play on the bot side, a couple of mistakes coming out from the side of Tren abusers, and they have to be careful about not giving these kind of mistakes from them. It's hard to see this kind of gameplay when you're getting a certain win for yourself, but you're just giving it essentially all the way back to the opponent team. It looks like Potato gone for the Yuntals already fully completed. The Hubris completed for the Smolder. Now, I don't even want to look at the vehicle. This man is so disgustingly far ahead. Has completed his Trinity Force. Will be looking to the Trinity Force collector build already. So Dirk also in his pocket. The Dark Seal with Annie, unfortunately, no stacks on it after her trade death in the mid lane against MF Artist. Maybe with a bit more spacing, Bob could have survived in that exchange. But yeah, again, a bit of a lull period. Second Drake gets picked up by the side of the Revenants. So they have 2 Drakes to their name. They have the first 3 kills. They now just looking to maybe the next jungle objective actually does decide who actually gets the feats of strength. Unfortunately, they will only decide it for the side of Revenants. They need 1, while the side of Tren abusers need 2 for their pocket, because they did end up picking up the first turret after the I think essentially the most effective play they've made all game. With that, waiting for Ezin to dive into the fight before Gary Striker comes. Tip of Zinnia spearheading onto Caitlyn. Basically a limit test kind of way to get onto the mark. Still gets it over there. Yeah, drones are walking up, waiting in the bush, waiting to see if anyone makes the error of walking into him, face checking. I don't think anyone at this level of play will be walking at least that far forward without a turret, but Dronzer and Gary Striker are waiting here. Bob, very well played, kept his distance completely, knew something was suspicious, and once you see 3 members there on the bot side, you know what the side of Revenants doing? They're pinging very heavily on that Rift Herald that will be spawning in around 15 seconds time. So they're going to have the Rift Herald on their mind. Annie with this Malignance will be proccing Tibbers in pretty much every single team fight that will be coming their way. The Cosmic Drive completed for the Volibear. Look at the CS difference from him also as well. He's almost around 40 CS up onto the Mordekaiser, so he's pretty far ahead. Rift gets started up to the side of Trent's Wonder contested, and looks like just because of them walking up, Revenants are choosing to give this up. You don't have Bob over here. Bob doesn't have TP, mind you. He's brought Ignite as a summoner, so I think you have to give this up. They are walking for Dronzer very nicely, headbutting Tren ready out of the way. Sakir goes forward. He does take away Shoxikun. The Herald does get picked up. How does the fight turn from this forward? A lot of ticking HP bars from side of Revenants. And Potato Monster has to run for the hills. But nice flash forward by Dronzer. Headbutts Potato Monster backwards. Picks up the kill. So that's a 3-0 in favor of Tren abusers, as well as them picking up the Rift Herald. I honestly think you just give up the Rift Herald at the point. You don't have to fight for the feats of strength that hard when you know your Annie can't make it into the fight. So maybe a bit of a lapse of judgment from the side of Revenants over there. And they could have maybe thought out better over there, especially when Sekiro ults for it and he doesn't take the right person away with his R. That should have signified maybe just sacrifice that person who's been taken away and move forward. Rift Herald, that was just claimed, gets spawned in the mid side. They're gonna pick up the tier 1 over there, leave the Herald maybe to give some chunk damage. Bob's walking menacingly forward with his fourth proc ready in his hand for that stun. But yeah, that's all she wrote. And if I'm not mistaken my math, guys, whoever now honestly does get the next jungle objective will get feats of strength. 2 jungle epic monsters for each team in that category, plus the first 3 kills for the side of Revenants. But the first tower went over to the side of Tren abusers. And this will be the first turn that Revenants also do end up picking up in the top side, which are already hammering her away, especially with such a huge CS lead and the kind of dominance that this man has been showing. Fortunately, the Mordekaiser, maybe now will be able to start picking up some pace. Does have his Rift making completed, does have the Merc Treads for the stuns and the damage that the Annie will be landing on, plus, AP damage from the Volibear. Ezreal has also slowed down, not snowballing even more right now. After the 6 kills, has a bit of a slow mark. That was around 10 minutes ago when he had hit the 6 kill mark. So now completely slowing down a bit of the pace. Drake about to spawn, and this is it, folks. This is what these teams are fighting. The TP already coming in from the Mordecai. The fight going to be imminent over here. They have started up from the side of Revenants. They have started the Drake. They were sitting on the pick ward. You have to clear the pick ward. They choose not to instead clear the pick ward. And now Pryo being on the side of Tren abusers, as in looking for the blast pan to go in onto this fight. This is going to be a very tough one, folks. Now finally ward being cleared out in the bush. Sekiro clears this. Revenants do have the scuttle vision over there towards Jake, so they know how much low it's going. Here comes the Smolder, going to look for jungle. His 3 members of Revenant, and I think Revenants have to run away. They can't fight this anymore. There's just too much chunk damage that was already done to them before essentially the actual fight started. Shocksequel walking forward, does ultimate, but here comes Johnson. He jumps into the fight. Sekiro has taken away the volley bear, does end up getting the kill, but Dronza also gives up his life. Can Ezzy get a reset for himself? Does get a reset onto the Victor. He has turned into the Victor, will be falling onto the other side. Potato Monster gets the kill onto Sekiro. Such less bars, taking red health bars essentially with the side of Revenants. They have to back away right now. How can you even look to step forward? If one of these W's lands, that's going to signify the end of one of these characters. They're still walking forward. Ezzy is trying to heal off the blue buff. And now the Drake fight, for at least now, it's a truce. White flags being waved on both sides. They've taken quite a bit of damage as well. They have to back off. They have to get the resets. No way you can go for it. Ping's coming in, but not much you can do. Potato Monster barely surviving also in the fight. Had to burn his flash as well to just get there. Smolder flashes forward. Really? You want to be doing this? The flash looked like he wanted the kill, but he honestly could not get the kill. The flash forward, I don't think you don't have the stacks for that kind of a kill right now, Mr. Smolder. And as you could clearly see, he does not end up getting the kill on Potato Monster. And that's a flashless Smolder in the next fight going on. It looks like the side of Tren abusers want to abuse as much vision as they can get. Maybe try and dive on a member that was isolated, which would be the Volibear. Both Potato Monster and Smolder have gone to base to get their HE bars there, but Smolder will have Pryo at least on the move over here. Drake being started up by the side of Revenants. It's being chunked on quite well. Already 3,000, already 3,700. Vision trying to be get by the Jinja with his W. They jump in, but the anti-tippers gets both members stunned up. They pick up the Drake. They're going to pick up the Xin Zhao and Dronzer. And now, can MF Artist run away? You have a turret, but will that be enough? That will not be enough. That's been answered over there. And Atakan is spawning as well. This is disaster for the side of Tren abusers. I don't think you can go into that when the Annie has, four procs already lined up, plus steepers in her pocket. You have Malignants and you're not going to be getting a hit. You get stunned up as soon as you jump in the pit. You can't even smite up onto the Drake. They end up losing the feats of warfare, end up losing 3 of their lives. And what do the side of Revenants lose? Nothing. They even get the added Atakan on top of that. The cherry on top of the cake. Now, finally, SU 7-0 and 8. Collector completed, Triforce in pocket, has an Executioner's calling as well. 700 gold, maximum bounty on his head. It's just not looking like good. For once, I thought Tren abusers were making their way slightly back into the match, but unfortunately, all went away with that dragon play. It looked like at the Rift, maybe some kind of comeback essentially for their side, but not looking like it right now at least. Talking about gold. 5k gold up in advantage, at least for the side of Revenants. The Victor 2-6-3, still not up to the mark where he's scaled up, where he can do a bit much in these team fights. The Mordekaiser, after a rough, 1-4 in the beginning, 3-5-1, not a bad, recovery from himself. Making some recovery in terms of CS as well. Narrow down the 40 CS gap to around 20 CS gap. Bot side, Potato with a 10 CS lead. Annie, a bit behind on CS, but she's more of, a supportive role in the team fights in the sense that lock it up with the Tibbers like she did in the Drake fight, deal a bit of, splash damage plus, burst damage, and just walk away out of this fight. Talk about items. Caitlyn up on itemization release right now. The Smolder not having his Infinity Edge completed. Caitlyn does have Infinity Edge plus the Yuntal, so will be doing a lot of damage, especially with her headshots in these fights. The Shocksequel eating a laser for his troubles of walking up, thinking that he can take that pink ward. But Victor's like, no, that is my territory. You cannot walk up right about now. We are not that far behind. As the Shocksequel uses, his Oracle Lens, clears out the ward in the bush. Bob and Ezian on the bot side of the map. No jungle objectives spawning. Baron around coming up in 2.5 minutes time. That should be the timer in everyone's head. And Predator Monster just free farming with the smaller. I want to see how many stacks this man has, because that stacks can deter a lot about these next fights that will be coming up. Bob is a very happy man, just hip hopping away, just dancing around, frolicking around. But yeah, a bit of a lull period right now in terms at least of action between these two teams. Obviously, more favored in Revenants. They have 3 Drakes to their name. They are on Soul Point for the Cloud Drake. That with that added movement speed, this Bob is pretty much going to catch everyone. Not even going to have to flash tibbers, just legit just skips up to them and just tibbers them. That's pretty much what you're going to be looking for. You have so much peel for your Caitlyn, going to be almost hard to catch it. Smolder using the ultimate to just clear the wave right now. That's the kind of situation that Tren Abusers is in right now. You can't do much, and you don't have to save the ultimate because not much any type of team fighting will be happening. So maybe a bit of a smart move from the ADC of Tren. Top side, Volibear maybe wants to pick up the Scuttle pretty soon because Baron will be spawning in around 1.5 minutes. They maybe want to pick up the tier 2 over here. Caitlyn traps can be placed in angles that is very hard to see for the side of the blue team. But a nice net, but now without a net, it's jumped on, has to flash away from the chain. The W from the chain now lands. He flashes forward, and now Potato Monster is in a world of trouble. He ends up going down. Turn readies into the fight. A nice 3-man knock-up coming in from Bronzer, but is that enough for his team? Churn ready goes down. So does the Braum. Bob comes in from the side, picks up the Xinjiao, but now he is between a rock and a hard place. Manages to pick up the Victor as well, but his shutdown unfortunately does go over to Bronzer, and that's an ace for the side of Tren Abusers. They lost 2 members, but picked up the entire squadron of Revenants for their troubles. Not going to even pick up a tier 2. Potato Monster a bit too careless in the way he walked up. Already used his net when the impact comes, so only had the flash. Once the flash is used, anyone who jumps on him is free pickings at that point. You can't do much. Baron and Drake will be spawning as well. Barons are on 30 seconds. Drake's supposed to be coming up as well. So these timers do warrant a reset from the side of Tren Abusers. Have to get about healthy, come back in. Now Infinity Edge completed by the Smolder does have his Cloak of Agility, and this is where now the Smolder and the Victor, but surely but steadily, will be making their impact felt in these team fights, because you have to do it. And mind you, this was a team fight without Smolder ult in it, by the way. So just imagine with the Smolder ult, the amount of damage it will deal beforehand, like the way they deterred one of those Drakes. Drake now being started up by Potato Monster's side. Revenants going full on ham onto this. This is their soul Drake. They really want to go for it. Here comes the Smolder. Hits no target that they want to go for. Drake secured. Will more lives be secured? Gary Striker gets stunned up, locked up. Sekiro now battling against Potato Monster in the realm. Can he get out? He's out of the realm right now. Can he get the last hit? He cannot. Digita being chased away by Churn Ready. Dronzer getting followed up with the shots coming out. Bronzer have to proc the ultimate. He's trying to survive. There's just not much you can do against an Alistar with his ultimate, but his ultimate will go down. And now a return ace from the side of Revenants in that team fight. They pick up Drake, they pick up the reverse ace, and now maybe even looking to march it all the way. No, but I don't think they can. Striker is going to be coming up. MF artists will be coming up as well. Maybe pick up a turret and then run for the hills. Exactly what they're going to be doing. Baron's up also, so maybe get a fast reset and head over towards that, where the fighting will continue. More importantly, Cloud Soul picked up by Revenants. Goal lead still about the same it was around, say, 7-8 minutes ago. Fight was flipped. The fight just before this one won by Tren Abusers. Fight this time won by Revenants. And Gary Striker just getting caught out. Secure tried to go on Potato Monster on the backlines, but unfortunately could not finish off the job. And that's where the team lacked a bit. And at least this time when the fight happened, Bob was close by, so you can see the amount of impact this Annie is bringing into the team fights, right? Moving forward. So it is going to be very impactful about how you have to have your positioning right. Annie, if she's there, she doesn't have TP, so she can't be on the side lane. She has to be grouped around at all times. Volibear, on the other hand, can be going side lanes, can be trying to get the side lane push, and has the TP to match it over here. 10 stacks complete in the dark side. Maybe going to be a Magi soon from the side of Bob. 8, 3, and 14 doing a phenomenal job as a mid laner, even though albeit he is a support. And now he's doing a fantastic job as a mid laner. And his support's also doing phenomenally in the scene. Dronzer clearing some vision for himself. Volibear's on the side, doing the Krugs on the bot side, maybe giving the a false sense of security to the Mort that he's not there, but now just marches in. Mort can't mess the Volibear right now, or can he? Might be looking to fight. He does have his realm pretty much up very soon. Pulls in the Volibear, but nope. Just looking to exchange something. Volibear is going to heal up a lot as well. Picks up the cannon. And now Ping's coming in for the side. They very smartly try to go from the right side, but they don't know the Ping is there. So anyway, get vision. Now Tren Abuser is going to have to, play a little game in their mind. Are they doing it? Are they not doing it? They're playing with the mental a bit of Tren Abusers. Tren Abusers are walking up. Now the fire side of alteration will, confirm the fact that the Baron was started. But now with it being shown that they know that Revenants are doing it, Revenants are going to back off from the objective. Volibear still has TP, can still go to side lane. Sekiro does have if he wants to go, but Dronzer, my god, my man, you're stuck alone, all alone. You're gonna get no help whatsoever. You can pop the ult as much as you want, but if 4 members are hitting you, they're gonna clip you on the off your screen. Bob picks up the kill onto Jinja as well onto the Victor. What just happened for the side of Tren Abusers? This is just, it was looking a bit like topsy-turvy in terms of what this game could go, but now it's just blown wide open by Revenants. You catch out the Alistar over there, the Annie secures the kill onto the Xinjiao and the Victor, and now you pick up the Baron for yourself. What tough luck. Tren Abusers, macro not going the way they want. Not macro, maybe somewhere in between, and macro the micro of how you want to play around these pushes near the Baron side with, maybe limited vision and just not play it well whatsoever. Annie, now the 500 gold bounty on her, 10, 3, and 14. As I said, the Dark Seal, now a Magi. That Magi is going to start stacking up as well. So look for more added impact from her in these team fights. The Viego was looking to maybe cast the Mordecai, and is maybe still looking for he's charging for he does. Remember, you have the Cloud Soul, so that has a lot of movement speed. Sekiro does have the ultimate, pops it on the Viego. Viego getting chunked down. W pop by Sekiro. Ezreal might give up his life, but so will the Mordecai. So it's a 1-for-1 trade. Bob getting another kill, and more importantly, 4 more stacks onto his Magi's. So now Bob is pretty strong. They're going to pretty much get this tier 2 on the bot side. Not much answer Tren Abusers can do. More just pushed out too much. Nice death run by him. Picks up the kill at least, counter onto Ezreal. But when you are one of the strongest members on your team, and if you end up going down, it's very hard for them to defend turrets, especially with what looks like a 1-4 push, but no. It's a 1-4 push with the Caitlyn in mid, which is a bit on the unusual side. Braum Q connects onto the Xinjiao. Braum connected onto the Xinjiao, but he can't do much else. What can you do as Tren Abusers? It's very, very hard right now from their side about any of these team fights. And it looks like we're at the ultimate stages of the games, because what else can be done right now? Tren Abusers are on the back foot completely. They have to be, more cautious about what kind of plays they want to go for. Revenants are just going to wreak havoc. Even if they make a mistake, right now it's not going to be Ash. I think right now Revenants are just looking to get Elder and move on to game 2. I think they already have a game 2 in their minds. The plan's already being set because they just know they've won this game right now. It's very hard for Tren Abusers to actually, crawl the way back. Just how far behind people are, just amount of, CC coming into Revenants in these team fights. Bob, just a nuisance, a complete nuisance in these fights. The only fight Tren Abusers seem to have won properly in the later stage of the game was when Bob wasn't present. And that just tells you all that you need to about how these fights will go down if Bob is one of their members. Elder Drake has spawned. Is about to spawn. Now has spawned. Essien, just kiting away, walking away on that side. Volibear just not letting this Boulder come in. Boulder has to go over the wall. Volibear flashes onto him. You might get the kill onto the Volibear, but what else can you do? The Elder Drake's going to be going down. Turn ready. He's just so tanky. He's not even falling down. Here comes Bob. Here comes the Tibbers. Here comes the splash damage. And so does the Volibear doesn't go down. But this is the Xinjiao and the Alistar. Potatomus was 1v1ing the ward in his death realm. Picks up the kill. Flash forward by MFR. Just picks up the kill onto Bob, but where can you go? Elder Drakes come up, the execution comes up. That seems to be GG, ladies and gentlemen. That will be, I think, all she wrote, at least for game 1 of this best of 3 series. Revenants, in I would at least say pretty dominating fashion in 32 minutes time, taking this game, turn ready with the moves at the base. Oh, so Shoxikun joining, so is Potato Moss. They're just dancing legitimately on the graves of Tren Abusers right now. And That's all you have to know about this. Well played from Revenants. Take game 1 in the best of 3 series and semi-final 2 of quarter-final 2. And it's going to be Tren Abusers heading into game 2 being 0-1 down in this series. Very, very unfortunate for their side, but very well played from the side of Revenants. They had maybe 2 fights that would signify where they were in the back foot, where they ended up losing it, but other than that, not much. This is towards the end part of the game. Sekiro, one of the more fed members of the team, he ends up going down. It's very hard for Trend Abusers to, match the aggression being put by Revenants. 4 men come down over here. They pick up the kill. They get the trade kill onto the mortar, even though Ezien does meet the gray screen. Here, Generally doing excellent job just deterring any members from Trend Abusers to walk up. The only one who did was the Mordecai. Everybody else has come to meet this Annie and the Volibear. And all that ends up happening is you get the kill on to the Annie. But that's just, grace marks at that point. Like, what else? What do you want? It's just consolation prizes. Well played by Chernary towards the end of those fights. Chernary dominating in the early parts of the top fight. Here, they just end up picking up the turrets. As we said, dancing out the graves with their enemy. A little PM coming in. A bit of, what we like to see a bit in esports. But yes, just friendly banter between the two teams, honestly. But yes, Revenants dominating fashion, bit on a hiccup in the middle stage of the game, but otherwise dominating from them all together. That's going to be at least it for game 1 between these two teams. Predator Monster doing a okay job. I would say the one man you have to watch out for was the Annie with those tubers. A lot of good stunts. Ezien also got Omega fed early on. He got a couple of really amazing gangster, really amazing team fights that just went completely in his team's favors. Got those, resets for himself and did a good job. Turn ready. Excellent peel coming out from this man. Sekiro, a bit lackluster on the Mordecai side, at least early on. And as you can see on your screen, MVP of the game, Bob, Black Thief, Annie, 13, 4, and 16 KDA. Damage, 983 damage per minute, but that's not the important part of it. Even the 5.7 CS can be mitigated just given how many fights are happening. He's just impact in these team fights. His, nice Tiber stuns coming in was just so crucial to winning this game for the side of Revenants. And if you can see how the game at least looked, from a stats point of view, 37 kills for Revenants to the 20 of Tren Abusers. Goal difference by the end was quite significant. Was already at like a 5 or 7 game mark by the around the 15-minute mark. And then Drakes, all 4 going over to Revenants. Elder, Baron, everything going over to the side of Revenants. There was no problem whatsoever. Only 2 Void Grubs going over to the side of Tren Abusers. Even the Altakan getting picked up by Revenants. So dominating jungle fashion, dominating in these team fights, just dominating however they want to. So at least the game plan that Tren Abusers came in with the smolder pick didn't work out for them the way they wanted to, and unfortunately they ended up making them lose at least game 1, and then they can maybe make a side of comeback in game 2. But guys, before we head over to game 2, we'll take a very short break before we jump right back into the action.
Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the buzz. I feel like Joel and be the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the letter I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. And I got a cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in. Got me like, all grind. Woo! Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Really haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop.
Guys, we are back yet again. League of Legends Legends Ascend South Asia qualifier to semi-final 2 and also coincidentally game 2. Moving forward, you already know game 1. If you've been keeping up with the results, I'll let you know either way. Game 1 went over to the side of Revenants. Tren abusers going down the series 0-1 very early on. Fortunately, had a lot of setbacks early on. Team fights did not go their way that much. They had a lot of troubles making up for some of their mistakes. 2 team fights went their way. They even got a nice dive in the bot side underneath the turret. But after that, everything, all hell broke loose. Revenants made a nice, U-turn from a bit what looked like it was heading in the opposite direction, and closed out the game with good fashion. Bob, very instrumental in those team fights, did a fantastic job. Tibbers' ultimates were just landing left, right, and center, hitting targets every single time. And yeah, pretty much everyone in that team played a fantastic job. Sekiro's Mordekaiser not paying that many dividends, especially earlier on against the Woolly Bear. Hard time for him. But I'm also getting, reports a bit of a substitution going to be coming in. We do know that Bob technically is usually the support of Revenants, and it looks like he'll be heading back into that role. He'll be heading back into the support. Toxicon will just take a step back, and the Unseen Blade will be coming back in the mid lane. So it looks like the Revenants right now, again, to complete full strength. It didn't look like they were lacking any in the last game, at least. But now, even proper moving forward, they have the complete roster. And as you can see, we're right yet again into the second draft. The Irelia ban, not that uncommon. Sekiro loves to play the champion, plays it pretty well. The Tristana ban aimed a bit at Potato Monster. So there is no Smolder, no Caitlyn, and no Tristana, at least for game number 2. Revenants continuing the banning with the Darius getting banned yet again. Let's see what trend abusers like to answer with for themselves. They did have, a bit of an abysmal performance, at least game 1 wise. Hopefully, get to bounce back, maybe take us all the way to that game 3. And now that Unseen Blades back in the picture, they want to ban out the Nafiri that they did not do, at least in game 1. Nafiri now very heavily favored a lot in the jungle, even the mid, pretty dominant. So, pretty good ban. Gwen's been left open from last game, even right now. Let's see what what Revenants want to ban out for their last ban of the first phase of banning ticking down the clock, and it's going to be that Eloy that Sekiro does favor. So at least 2 of their first 3 bans aimed at the top lane of Sekiro. It seems to be a bit of the star player for trend abusers, at least the way they're banning him out. Now let's see what trend abusers want to go for their last ban, who they want to look out for. It's going to be hitting up Bob, who likes to play the Blitzcrank. Now that Bob's back in the support role, they don't want to see Blitzcrank in his hand because we rarely see this man miss a hook on that champion. So good, scouting at least from the side of trend abusers. That's what going to be. Looks like a bit of a Kane, however. So maybe Ezzy and Kane going to be coming into the picture, but no, instantly add a little bit of tease, and it's going to be the Syndra blindly locked in for the Unseen Blade in the mid lane. Now, up to what trend abusers want to answer back with. It looks like maybe a bit of a shift also in trend abuser side. Dronzer, who was playing the support, looks to be playing the ADC, and Laneburn has come in and he will be playing the support. And they want to lock up the Rel. Maybe the Rel lockup with the MF can change the fortunes in these team fights. The MF pick not a bad one at all here with the Rel for yourself. You can do fantastic wonders. Rel MF combos. We haven't seen that many. Listen, we have seen Rel, we have seen MF, but we have not seen them that much together. So maybe trend abusers want to change that. We have honestly seen the Rel a lot of times being paired with the Jinx Leona, Jinx Rel, and it looks like it's going to be a Jinx Rel. So a Jinx hyper scaling AD carry, always a good pick for a team, especially if you maybe find yourself on the back foot, at least early game wise. There's always avenues and opportunities to come back in a way when you have a Jinx on your team. With that being said, it's up to Revenants to pick up their next 2 picks. Every team actually just running around the clock. It's going to be the Ashe picked up. Mind you, can't be paired up with the Braum because Braum was already used in game 1 by Tren, by Revenants. So can't see the Ashe and the Braum being picked up. But Ashe won't be known as hyper carry, but it does provide a lot of support for your team with the Enchanted Arrow, with the added slows, and that incredibly fast Q shots that she keeps on hitting out. The Poppy looks to be getting picked up, but no, it's going to be the Maokai getting picked up, probably going into the hands of Bob, if I'm not wrong, because Bob can do it, but as yet, Maokai is a very flexible champion. Jungle, top, support, can go anywhere, so maybe we have yet to see where you want to go for it. You already seen what the Syndra is coming out as the mid lane for Revenants, so now it's up to trend abusers to lock in their mid, and probably is going to be that Galio. Galio can be flex top, but I think they're still going to take it in their middle lane, and if they really want to, can do a lane swap very early on, if that's how their game plan wants to go for them. But yeah, now to see what second phase of banning brings out for us. Trend abusers get to ban the first champion. Ticking away, and they're gonna ban out the Shen. They banned out the Shen first game as well, but it was, I think, in the first phase of banning, if I'm not mistaken. from the champion, from the last draft at least. So Shen no longer going to be here. Revenants also taking down the clock. These teams are taking very carefully. Guys, mind you, this is semi-finals, right? Whichever team wins essentially locks in their spot in Legends Ascent. They will be at least one of the top two teams, right? So top three teams qualify. It's going to be the Aatrox ban for Sekiro. So they've targeted him a lot. All four top laner bans on Sekiro coming out. So he's drawn a lot of the draft, attention towards him, at least from the side of Revenants. So that just tells you what this man is capable of, given that he's drawing so much pressure towards his side. They really want to neutralize his entire champion pool. His Mord, not at least a fan of it last game, but it was a pretty rough game for his entire team entirely. So we can't just blame it on him. So the Silas ban comes out. Silas had a couple of good ultimates that he can steal. The Maokai ultimate, the Syndra ultimate, the Ash ultimate. And that goes out. And trend users end up banning the Ornn that they banned out last draft as well. So a lot of the drafts that trend abusers did was the same except for the Nefiri and the Blitz. And this might just be due to the Unseen Blade coming back into mid and Bob going back into the support lane. We have to see what they want to pick up for the jungle perspective. It's going to be the Kindred coming out. So you do already have pretty tanky comps and good engages with the Galio, with the Rel. So now you want a bit, more damage on your side. That comes in with the Kindred. She is also a very good, invading champion for herself. Has to go pick up the marks. Ooh, the Malphite lock in pretty much seals a lot of the CC for the side of Revenants on Churn Ready. Churn Ready had a fantastic game on that Volibear last time. Did very well in laning, did very well as peeling, deterring trend abusers from even walking up to the Elder at the last point. So with him on the Malphite, I just want to see the kind of impact that he brings into these team fights. And it looks like the last pick gonna be the Kane for Ezian. Already looking like a very solid comp coming out from Revenant. So that means essentially that Maokai is going in that support role. Do we want to answer back with the Junta? I don't think you do. So no, we're thinking away against it. Maybe a set pickup to match out, or the Trundle. That's what they're hovering right now, at least for Sekiro. Let's see what they end up locking in. It seems to be that Trundle. And yes, what was hovered was locked. Trundle has been locked in. So we have both drafts coming in. Revenants having the Malphite, having the Kane, having the Syndra, having the Ash, and the Maokai. Trend abusers going to be rocking the Trundle, Kindred, Galio, Jinx, and Rel comp. A lot of heavy CCs coming in from both sides. Most of the CC from the side of trend abusers is going to be inside that Galio and the Rel, while as Revenants, KW, Malphite R's, even the Ash R's, the Maokai R's. So a lot of click R win team fights kind of comps coming in from Revenants. As we talked about, the simplicities of your comps usually end up winning the games, and they seem more one of the more simpler comps, I would honestly say. But it's still pretty simple from the side of trend abuse as well. So I only want to see how they want to face out. Also, guys, a reminder, please make sure to show support for your favorite teams in the chat. They always check in from here time and time again, gives motivation, helps pick up their spirits, and they'll obviously want to see people cheering on for them. But yeah, that's what's going to be locked in. If you haven't seen the first game, want to remind you, last game Bob was playing mid, now playing support. Shoxikun was filling in then. Shoxikun out. Unseen Blade comes in the mid lane. Then side of Trend Abusers, Lane Bun has now come in as a support, and the previous support, Dronzer is going to be playing the Jinx, the ADC for his side. So these are pretty much your comps locked in. Which draft do you guys think ends up winning? I think a lot of CC heavy dependent Revenants can lock in the single place target and do a lot to him. Especially sometimes I've seen trend abusers, face checking a lot of things. So maybe not what you want to do. Bronzer on that Alistar was getting caught out a couple of times. Even one of the fights just before the Baron, disaster struck for his side and just didn't go well. And I think trend abusers have to fight much more for the jungle objectives. The only time I saw them honestly go in for a fight was when they deterred one of the drakes from being taken, where both sides had to end up resetting. And the other time was going to be that Void Grubs battle where they picked up 2 grubs, picked up 3 kills for themselves, and were more the merrier. Happy for that instance, but yes, have to fight more for these objectives. Have to put more pressure on the map. You can't let a team like Revenants just run all over you like that. It's going to be hard to stop them once they get quite ahead. Ezreal doing a phenomenal job on that Viego earlier on, pretty much snowballed out to a point that's very hard to even, face him in the jungle. Gaishaka was on the Xinjiao, had a couple of good engages, especially one time bot side, but other than that, not that much early gank potential coming out from him. Maybe the Kindred will pull something special out of this. This is do or die, mind you, for Tren abusers. This is game 2 of the best of 3 series. Revenants up 1-0 in the series, so they have a bit of breathing room as well as momentum on their side. So something that will always do, a lot for your side types of mental going on, the motivation, the way you're really thinking about the game. Tren abusers back into the world, can they pull out a victory and take us to that crucial game 3 between these two teams? Because otherwise, Trend Abusers have to end up facing Jetfire's Dojo for the third, fourth place to make a chance of qualifying, at least to qualifier 2 for the Legends Ascent tournament. Yeah, that's going to be your drafts getting locked in. We're going to soon head out to the Rift. Once again, I want to remind you guys who haven't followed us on our social media, please make sure to follow us across all social medias. The links are in the description box below. Follow us on the Discord. A lot of fun things happening here time and time again. A lot of events that will be planned out, things that you get interested in, opportunities to win free skins. And who doesn't love free skins? I love free skins. So these are the things that you've been missing out on if you haven't joined us in all of these places yet. But yeah, game 2, comps locked in, game faces on. Let's see which one of these teams wants it more going into game 2. I honestly gonna be favoring the side of Revenants a bit, especially the kind of performance they put out last game. Want to see how they fare out here. Potato Monster didn't get to play his Smolder or his Justin the entire series up till now. Smolder taken by the opponent team last game didn't work out that much for Tren abusers. Didn't get to the point where he could scale and do tons of damage. Even the Victor being more or less insignificant in that game. They just didn't play to the style of how their comp was drafted, and that didn't do any wonders for them. And it was a very tough time moving forward. We'll be very shortly jumping into the Rift, and I want to see if maybe Potato Monsters team, means Reverence, will be going for maybe a level 1 shenanigans that they did go last time, but that was also when they did have a bronze, so that could be playing into the picture. They didn't meet any resistance of any kind, and they had a pretty fair good time in the bot side. So that's about it before we can see any action, and it looks like we're going to be heading right into the Rift. Remind you guys, this is quarterfinal 2, semi-final 2, and the crucial game 2 for Revenants, because if they win this, they're going to be heading into Legends Ascent. They're already going to have qualified before, if they make the finals, right? And it looks like it's going to be Tren abusers taking a bit of a book out of the strategy of Revenants, and they will be the ones all marching as 5 men in a group downside bottom into the river. Trons are stepping a bit too far ahead. You don't want to be the Jinxlings, but you definitely want the Galio. But look at this, like ships in the night. They're passing each other, going inside each other's jungles. If they walk bad, they might be fought with some kind of resistance. They're all just waiting over here. MF Art is looking around. Nice zoom out coming in. Oh my god, these sides are about to clash. Malphite's going to walk in over here. Here comes the taunt. Gets 3 members in. The taunt does a lot. They get the first blood for the side of Tren abusers. Malphite has also fallen. Galio has also fallen. Maoka has fallen as well. Then now Potato Monster has to run away. The excited Jinx just hammering away at him. And now this is going to be a very tough laning phase for him. He's going to have to recall and just walk back to lane. And disaster for the side of Revenants. Tren abusers bided their time, and their patience paid dividends at the end of the day. Nice 3-man taunt coming in from the Galio that allows his team to pick up the kills onto the Malphite, onto the Kayn, and onto the Maokai. On the other hand, it's going to be the Galio who ends up giving up his life for being that kind of guy. But he doesn't mind. He's not the one who needs to get the kills in the pocket. And the Kindred getting 2 kills in the pocket means a lot for Garrett Striker's momentum moving forward, as well as his skill potentials when he's moving into lanes. But yeah, that has been that lane, and because of the damage that Dronzer was putting in his side, it stayed towards Potato at the end. Potato has to walk to lane so late, it's going to miss out on so much XP. That just definitely means that Dronzer and Laneburn put so much pressure, get level 2 earlier on. Now Bob and Potato Monster have to play back in this pretty much the entire lane. Interestingly, Dronzer hasn't taken cleanse to match, Potato Monster's generate arrow, Bob jumping onto him, the Maokai roots. Something might have been good in that part, but he's instead chosen to go the standard barrier, while Potato Monster has gone for the ghost instead for himself. Ezian has a Dark Harvest up his sleeve, so maybe he wants to go for the blue cane or bronze purple. How he's gonna roll around. Top side, turn ready against Sekiro. And it looks like Sekiro this time has the advantage in this matchup. Hammering away at the rock solid Malphite, takes him quite down, has the level advantage as well, has gone lethal tempo. Bob, maybe going to look for a hook onto Lanebot, and if Lanebot comes so close here, the hook going to be coming out anytime soon. Sorry, why am I saying hook? It's a Maokai. He does not hook. I was confused because I thought he was going to be playing his Blitz. But no, the W from the Jinx gets blocked out onto the minion. Bob had gone back in the fight. Lanebot and Drons are taking quite a beating in these exchanges. Drons are very low on mana as well. So any kind of added advantage they had pretty much neutralized. They are going to hit level 3 first. Bob goes in over here. Here comes Ezian from the side. This might be a 2 for nothing. Bob might have to flash away. He does flash away from the W. Predator Monster claims the kill onto Dronzer, and it looks like Ezian will claim the kill onto Lanebot on that Rel Sekiro. You have to run. You have to flash. You have the mana entitled turn ready, but turn ready. You've walked quite a bit forward. That allows Gary Striker to claim his third kill on this Kindred. So 2 kills on the bot, answered by 1 kill on the top for Revenants, 2 kills for Tren abusers. This match has started in a bit of clown fiesta fashion of like amount of kills happening pre 5 minutes. Already 7 kills going down. Tren abusers coming out a bit worse, bit better. 300 gold up in their pockets. And a cull picked up by Dronzer as well as Potato Monster walking. So they're going to be playing more of a farming lane. But look at this nice lane freeze coming in from the side of Tren Abusers bot lane. They're going to control Dictator. They're going to deny as much XP to the side of Potato as they can. Dronzer's pretty much going to hit level 4 soon after a couple of minutes. But no, they didn't freeze it all the way. They pushed it in underneath the turret. Now the Ashes to pick it up. Lane going to walk forward. Nice Maokai sapling comes out. That prevents, Maokai from having to walk into them, face check that. Sheen picked up by the Trundle on the top side. Mind you, Trundle doesn't have TP. Malphite chose not to burn his flash when he saw the Kindred, because I'm pretty sure even if flashes, it's pretty over, because the Kindred has a flash to match it as well. Sekiro has to farm up as much as he can. In the meantime, in the mid lane, Unseen Blade back in action after missing game 1. Is around 10 CS up on MF Artist, now playing that Galio. Honestly, the comp revolves around playing around the Kindred and the Jinx later on. You have a lot of peel on your side. You want the Trundle split pushing. Sekiro will be looking to do that. He did a good job of it when he was playing the Aurelia as well. A lot of people have to go match him. Flash forward by the Rel. Connects onto Potato Monster, but nice dodge on the W. Prevents any other action coming out. The Ignite was also ticked onto him by Rel. So now Ignite less pocket. Bob also has his own thing. Lanebot coming in does land the stun onto Bob. Pushes him back. The Chompers land. Bob's rooted up in place, but as much damage as you can give. Dronzer's trying to give it without dishing it too much. Potato Monster's fine, but he's up in XP. Dronzer walked too far ahead. Bob ends up claiming up the kill. Now Lane Ball, not many places to go as the Rel. Ezian on that cane will be picking up the kill for himself. A bit of, overstay in that extended fight from the side of Dronzer and the Rel. And even though you're having the Chompers, you're not hitting the right target. You're hitting the Maokai, right? And you're letting the Ash, who's hit up a level somehow, onto you and is now firing away. Free fire gets the Q stacked up, gets them hitting out. And now Potato Monster having a bit of an advantage against the Jinx, especially a Jinx without a cleanse, mind you. So going to be a bit rough on to Dronzer moving forward. Picks up a slingshot for his trouble, but not the best buy on the way back. TP coming in from the shuttle top side. Turn ready. Will have maybe TP advantage moving into further fights, given that his is already in habit. But Ezian, look at this, being very sneaky, waiting up for the Kindred to walk up. The W connects, the slow lands. You do have flash on the Kindred. He chooses to use it, but followed up by the Cane with the flash. Picks up the kill, a killing spree, and Ezian, almost a repeat of game 1, if not for, the early level shenanigans. Already 3 kills up around 7 minutes in. So as he's already matched up the Kindred in terms of kill, as well as camps, already slightly ahead as well. Or after picking the blue, going to be well ahead. So Ezreal, good recovery coming from this man. Good ganks on the bot side. Double came twice. Now picks up the kid on the unsuspecting Kindred, who probably was going towards his mark. And just not working out. Kindred pick, not coming in as clutch as Gary Shaker wanted. You would have expected after the kind of start that the Kindred had that he would be doing better. Sekiro now has to be very careful of Churn ready. He has skill potential, especially with that ultimate. Sekiro doesn't have his own to match it. He really wants to go for these trades, but I don't think if you fall forward exactly one more auto and it's done. Sekiro, I don't know what you were thinking of doing over there, but that should have not been the game plan. Malphite has ultimate, you don't, and you're just gonna give him a free kill, a solo bolo. Churn ready, showing dominance yet again after that game 1 Volibear dominance. And Sekiro, I think he's playing games with Sekiro's mind right now. You almost mind controlled him into that kill. I don't know why you want to pillar and walk forward and take so much damage, especially after Q and ultimate and auto will just end you, and this is exactly what the rock solid top laner of Revenants did. Claims the kill for himself, moves on, pushes the wave in, up in CS as well. Now has complete prior to pick up the grubs that have spawned. Drake not taken by any, 2 grubs already picked up, 3rd grub going to be picked up as well without any troubles for the side of Revenants. And now they can even have tempo going towards Drake later on. Mind you, Churn ready will have TP for Drake fight, but Sekiro does not. Churn ready, his ultimate's already halfway past its cooldown, so you can expect good things from him. As you expect from a Syndra Galio matchup, Syndra quite ahead in CS. Bot side, now a bit of a stalemate in terms of CS, but not in terms of XP. Potato Monster's 2 levels up on Dronzer after having, one of the worst starts you can have as an Ashe. The Chomper's not connecting onto the Ashe. Ashe walks away scot-free. And yeah, a bit more lull states coming in. MFHeart is going forward with that taunt line. It does, the damage comes out, but it's just, minuscule damage. Here pops his ultimate against Churn Ready. Churn Ready getting blocked quite a bit by the pillar, but even still, even trades coming out between them. And that's because Churn Ready. But look at here, who got caught out? It's going to be the Galio. You have a flash to escape, and that's what you do where the Cinder Ball was about to land on your head. Kindred jumps over the wall. Now they have a bit of prior. Unseen Blade has to be careful. Does have flash, might end up burning it, but no. Stays it, keeps that flash in his pocket. But here on the side, here comes Bob and here comes Potato Monster. Syndra's kill claimed by the Super Mega Death Rocket. Galio going to the heavens. Hero's entrance comes down, lands on nobody. The area was completely clear. Now, Potato Monster, you have to hammer away, but now you might get stuck. Please run away just in time. And yes, you get out with the help of your ghost in that fight. A bit of, a bloody exchange going on towards the side of Drake Pit, or that side of the wall of Drake Pit. And when it looked like Revenants might have got out onto the Galio, completely turned around by the help coming in, and a nice super mega death rocket from the Jinx claiming the life of the Unseen Blade. So that's going to put some more gold in the pocket of Dronzer. And we've seen you can't let a Jinx come back into the game once you've been putting her behind. And unfortunate mistakes coming for Revenants. It's going to be Tren Abusers also picking up the first Drake of the game. Going to be an Ocean Drake, that be it. That's going to do wonders for your top lane Trundle when he wants to keep on healing up, especially in a matchup against the Malphite, who keeps on nailing him down, whittling his HP bar little by little until it is at the 0 mark. But look at this, they're going to dive onto him. The ult from Char today, he chooses to get the kill over the Unseen Blade. Unseen Blade just comes in, for the kill secure from his side. Gets it in, gets more gold in his pocket. They're going to be hammering it. Going to share this plating between them, while you expect MF Artist to be picking up some more, plating for himself. Solo gold, mind you, in the mid side. And it doesn't even super dead rock, not going to hit Churn Ready, so not going to even affect the wave at all. Second rocket coming in from Dronzer, so he's already at a 50% hit rate. One hitting, completely getting killed, one completely miffing, even not getting that minion wave. Now, Bob, you have to run from this scenario. You're going to be chased down. The arrows from Ashe come out, deter the movement, slow down the Kindred from following Potato Monster's support. Bob gets away. Maybe a bit of an overextend right there on that side. You do have a control ward. Laneone's going to go in. He does land the stun. Look who's close by. The Kindred's also going to be walking up. Potato Monster, you have to run away. Nice enchanted arrow onto the Kindred to prevent his movement forward. Bob, nice slowdown, but I think Bob, you're going to end up getting caught. But nice ultimate from him. but you're followed it up. The flash forward by the Kindred. You don't have flash anymore. You get neutralized in the spot. You don't have ultimate to protect yourself. TP's galore coming in. Churn Ready's here along with Sekiro. Sekiro has to flash out of the exchange. Ezreal had ulted inside the Galio. The stun lands, but not onto the jungle, but they still managed to claim the kill. That's going to be a 3-for-1 in favor of Revenants. Bob gives up his life, but baits the side of Tren Abusers so deep towards his own turret, they have almost no room to escape. Now, Lanebird is pretty much going to get neutralized underneath his own turret. Here comes Galio from the heavens. Now, he's in a precarious state. He can get chunked down as well. They have to juggle the aggro pretty well. Ezreal has to flash away. Nice block by Potato Monster onto the Super Mega Death Rocket, now at a 33.33% hit rate. I don't know if it was intentional, but he did walk a slight step that way that prevented anything from heading onto him. Airshaker is looking to come in, but the stun lands onto him. Now you can't honestly do anything. Oh, here comes the Malphite instead. Complete turnaround. He didn't think that he can pick up the kill. Johnson is trying to look forward. One more auto, he would have claimed the life of Syndra. Unfortunately, does not. Gonna see the gray screen for the 4th time. And what looked like Tren Abusers maybe want to turn around after, disastrously falling underneath their own turret. They get yet again picked off. Dronzer has his Yuntaos, but unfortunately could not land that last auto. And Kindred, completely surprised, pretty much jump scared by the Malphite with that ultimate. He didn't even have time to press his own R button. And Ezreal is back on top. Now it looks like Trundle's the one who's been chosen to get bullied. I think Ezreal can pretty much solo kill him at this point, and that's exactly what he's gonna do. Ezreal, unstoppable. 5-1-3 is going the hubris, pretty much the lethality build while being red cane. He's gonna be doing a lot of damage. Lateburn did have a good engage, did get the kill unfortunately onto Bob, for which Kindred had flash forward, mind you. But the flash was for naught because Lanebird ends up claiming the kill. Now, Poridomoso can do well against these with his Ws, which are already looking around. Maybe he has to start moving towards the mid lane, pick up some CS over there, given that's where Bob is. But MFR is going to go in, put some damage, get the taunt, but you can't do much to the Maokai right now in this state, especially how you are. He has a Bramble Bless as well. Flash forward by Lanebird. Ultimate connects. Poridomoso, you have to run. But do you have enough movement speed? The W can't connect from the Jinx. The Super Death going wide. Here comes the stun from the Syndra. The ultimate as well. Now it's the Rel who has to run away. Nice TP coming in from the Syndra. They're going to give the kill over to him. Very slowly but surely. Hello guys? We have a Rel on the loose. Somebody catch this Rel, please. The Rel's running for her life. Probably going for an execute while as Ezreal's come on to the Kindred in the meantime in the mid lane, and looks like Ezreal's going to be getting that execute. So, oh no, but he had got hit just before he can go to the turret as well. So that's going to be Syndra claiming the kill after a very long chase, mind you. So Rel bought a lot of time, but it was for nothing essentially because Tren Abusers can't do anything with that time bought. But anyone's very clean movement towards the end, picks it out just in time, uses a minion to block the W from the Jinx, sidesteps the Super Mega Death Rocket coming in from the Jinx, and then Jinx pretty much killed by the Syndra TP'd in. Scatter of the Wind, press the R button onto him, and that's good night Dronzer for the 5th time. Rel, it was a very funny chase, but ends up dying as well to the hands of Syndra. Syndra, Kayn, and Malphite and the Ashe, they are so far ahead. It's 19 kills to 6, ladies and gentlemen. They're almost up so much gold as well. They're hitting levels that should not be allowed at this point of the game. They're around 8k gold up, or make it around 7.5. But here, flash forward by the Galio. The taunt does land, but the Super Mega Death Rocket going so close to the Ashe, who gets out. But now Jinx, where do you go? This is what you hate to do, be as an ADC. You can do nothing. He said maybe farm up some waves. Look at Churn Ready playing around with his food. That's not what you're supposed to be, Churn Ready. I thought it would have gone better, but he plays around with the Jinx, claims the kill at the end with his Q as well. And yeah, Dronzer was looking for a pick in the mid lane, maybe not paying attention to his map, because he was looking for a Predator Monster skill. Predator Monster yet again sidestepping that. He was forced to burn his flash for the flash forward by Galio, but hold it. Sekiro getting ganged up yet again. The Kayn's pretty much going to seal the deal alongside the help of Bob on this Maokai. And all falling apart for Tren Abusers, not looking like the team they were in first game at all, because they were doing a better job than this at least. And now the gap's been broken completely wide open between these two teams. You're looking hard for the Jinx to even get into the game. Unseen Blade getting pushed up, but here comes the Enchanted Arrow, lands onto the Kindred. Here comes the Maokai out from the side. The R placed on the Kindred while he's in his own realm does not fall, but will end up falling to the Ash. Now the Rel has to run. Scatter of the Wind does land the shield from the Galio, not enough to save his life. Now Galio maybe has to run. Maokai jumping pretty deep in. The Galio's pretty tanky, you have to be careful. And it's going to be the Malphite that ends up paying for the sins of the support. Kayn, flash forward W, lands onto his target, the Galio. They're going to pick up the tier 1, probably going to drive this in for the tier 2. Ezreal's going to look to be doing the driving. Vroom vroom, hits onto the turret. Hello there, Trundle, you're going to get bullied yet again. But they don't have the HP bus. Potato Monster, no, you end up falling, so does the Maokai. But Kayn does pick up the kill onto Trundle at the end. 6th time he died. Trons are in the meantime in the bot side. Oh, look at this flash forward by the Kindred. Smites the Rift very smartly so the Syndra gets out of it and then picks up the kill. Syndra. In the meantime, Trons on the bot side is free farming. Is trying to get as much farm as he can. Picked up an entire turret to himself, which is objective bounties. Tier 1 of the bot side for him. Jordan Reddy's coming to match him. Dronzo, you need to get out there immediately. ASAP. Mr. President, you need an evacuation. You need to run. And that's exactly what he's doing right now. He has his eye on his own character. He's not looking for any super mega death rocket kills. So he's going to be pretty fine. But yeah, Ezreal is a beast right now. 9-1-3. Opportunity completed. Cerelia's Grudge completed. Oh, Hubris completed. 700 gold bounty on his head. The highest that you can obtain. Meanwhile, the Kindred so far behind in his build pattern. Only the Collector and maybe a BF Sword with the Berserker Greaves in his pocket. Ezreal is going to be a menace this game. Bob putting some saplings for some vision, which will get, soaked up by the Kindred. Potato Monster, 5-1-12. Runan's Hurricane, Yuntal's in his pocket. Has the Ghost for future team fights. Stronzer also has both Summoners. Ezreal going yet again on secure. Leave this Trundle alone, my man. Hasn't he suffered enough? Ezreal answers no. No, he has not suffered enough. We want to finish this game as soon as possible. That's Ezreal going legendary. After his first death of the game that was in the Clown Fiesta in the bot Tribush, he hasn't died once, and he's making his presence felt. The Trundle, who's supposed to be the lane, split laner bullying that way, gets bullied by the jungler instead. Smite comes in. Bob, you walked a bit too forward. The ult comes in. Enchanted Arrow does land. Unseen Blade claims the kill with his R onto the Kindred. Super mega death rocket from downtown gives Jinx that added movement speed. Potato Monster, you've been put away. So does the Syndra. Scatter of the Wind. Nice knockback. I don't think you can chase him that much. They're going to chase him, but Syndra buys so much time. Lane 1 trying to go forward, trying to land the CS. How Scatter of the Wind's going to come back anytime soon as well. Sekiro against Sharon Ready on the top side. Syndra is being chased halfway across this map. The W flashed away by the Unseen Blade, so he gets out away from the chase without giving up his life. But yeah, Super Mega Death Rocket comes in, claims that kill, gives the added boost to the Jinx, comes in for the team fight. Potato Monster, no chance whatsoever. Mind you, Dronzer had to flash away from one of the Cinder balls landing in his face, but hold it. Sharon Ready, it's time to get ganged up. He also onto the Jinx. Jinx, you have to run away. You're trying to follow up, but do you have enough to push him? The W does not land, flashed away by Sharon Ready after he used the ultimate to create some distance for himself. Jinx never had in doubt that the Malphite is going to follow up on him, but nice flashes being used by the top laner and the mid laner to make essentially great escapes. Drake is up. I don't think you can even challenge it with this Kayn being close by, and that's exactly what the side of Tren abusers are doing. They're not going to challenge this whatsoever. W? What was that W as in? You didn't connect it onto the Drake. And Drake number 3 of the game, and the second of Revenants going to be picked up. They are up quite a bit in terms of gold, 7k up in that department. In terms of kills, the Kayn massively fed. Artakan also going to be started by them. Nothing that Tren abusers can do. No way can they walk for the Jinx doesn't even have her Infinity Edge collected, so the 2-item power spike not coming into full prospect at least now. Sekiro against Sharon Ready. How many times have we seen this matchup where Sekiro is getting ganged up whenever he's meeting anybody? Sharon Ready is going to have ulti anytime soon. The timer's ticking away. Sekiro has to make his great escape before that. The pillar is going to come out, but the ult comes up before that. Sekiro tries to eat away at the Malphite, but you're biting into a rock, my man, and that's going to break your teeth. The Q does land. One more auto seals the deal. But hold up, what's happening on the other side of the map? The Maokai ultimate's coming in over here. Ezreal's gone inside the Kindred, but the Kindred ultimate's going to save her life. The Chomper is going to follow through, prevent a lot of people from following onto the members of Trend Abusers, but after that, the Flash is forward. Lanebird's trying to get out. Drons is trying to get out. Tren Ready's here as well. He's TP'd into this fight. This looks like an FF angle, at least for Trend Abusers, because that's an ace coming in for them. And look at this, Tren Ready just being rock solid over here. The Trundle pick not working wonders, at least for Sekiro. And look at this instant replay coming up on your screens. You can see from this fight, Maokai channels his ultimate from that side of the wall. Gary Striker just saved by his ultimate. Nice chompers being placed by Dronzer, but the follow-up is there. The flash forward by Potato. He's going to chase down, going to provide so many slows. And look at this TP. Here comes Churn ready from the sides. The Q lands onto the Jinx. Jinx gets scattered of the wind away. The Jinx has had pretty much no chance. Her only 2 kills coming from Super Mega Death Rockets. The only Asian man. Sekiro, what are you doing, my man? You can't walk up to the Syndra like that when she's in that. Syndra might end up going down, and she does. But Monster has to kite for his life. But there's a lot of CC being put onto him, and it's going to be lane burn, unfortunately, claiming the kill. The W from Dronzer would have secured it, but he dies before the surge. Dronzer doesn't even manage to get a kill. Please give this over to your ADC, but no, you're kicking it onto the Galio as well again. As the Dronzer unfortunately can't catch a break when kills that pretty much are secured by his team can be given over to him are unfortunately not. So at least Trend Abusers getting 3 kills in those exchanges for Sekiro, dying for the 9th time. Oh, Chair ready? You are not on the right side. The taunt should be landing from the Galio, but nice flash forward coming by the Galio, by the Malphite. Oh, sorry, the R forward. But look at this. Ezreal getting caught out. No, that's not what you want from your Ezreal over there, because he's been doing such a good job. That's his 2nd death of the game. And maybe getting a bit overzealous from his side. But these kind of mistakes, given the spec of it, is okay. He is still not giving it over to the Jinx. Jinx is recalling, Jinx? Have you DC'd, my man, or have you just completely given up on life? He's given up on life, ladies and gentlemen. Why are we recalling that? Enchanted Arrow from down does land on the Galio. Galio is going to get Art in the face. Simple press hard, take kill by the Syndra. The flash from the Kindred, trying to run away, but the slows constantly dished out by the Malphite are enough. He's going to let him leave for just a little bit longer, live on. And Sekiro, my man. This Trundle, this Troll God, honestly trolled the game quite a bit for Trend Abusers. And now the TP is coming in to end the game, essentially. You have 4 people on death timers. Drons is going to be back up, but not enough damage. Lane Burn comes forward, gets scattered in the wind for his troubles, getting chunked down quite a bit. Look at the Ashe, look at the autos coming out. The R from the Malphite, and the 3rd kill of the game for Dronzer by yet again his 3rd Super Mega Death Rocket connecting on someone. And now, unfortunately, Bob jumps onto him. He gets obliterated by the Syndra. And that's going to be it. That's going to be the game over here, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be Revenant taking semifinals 2 in a 2-0 fashion against Trend Abusers. If you thought game 1 was dominant, game 2 was an all-out stomp from the side of Revenants, and they're going to lock in their place not only in Legends Ascend, the future tournament for which this qualifier is, they're going to even head up to the finals of the qualifier against Shuvo haters. Let's take a look at this. This was just a bit too funny. Dronzer just pretty much gave up on life once he saw that Malphite hit the Q on him. Maybe not looking at his screen, maybe thought he was safe. And this is just the beginning of the end. The final nails in the coffin just being hammered in. Churn Ready has been quite a bit of a menace with these Malphite ultimates, plus the slows that he provides for his team. He trolled quite a bit. Once on this Jinx over there, once other time. Wait, the other time was also on a Jinx, by the way, where he was just sitting on his head, just waiting for him to get the last hit. Yep, but that just pretty much seals the deal. Dronzer, unfortunately, only managing kills through the Super Mega Death Rocket, did play them pretty nicely with the ultimate, but otherwise not that effective at all. Didn't get to the part where he scaled up, got the items in his pocket. Potato Monster, phenomenal job on the Ash. Who said this man can only play Tristana and Smolder? You can see this guy has a champion pool after all, and he's did a fantastic job on the ADC role. But I think props have to be given to the Syndra and the Kayn. They made the game just look so easy. How many times have we just seen the Syndra walk up to people, press the R button, and claim another kill in her pocket? She didn't even have a Magi. She just had a Dark Seal with complete 10 stacks for God knows how long. But yeah, that's going to be it, at least for semifinal 2. And it only in 2 games, didn't even manage to make it to the 3rd game. Revenants winning out in dominating fashion, and they will be heading up to face against Shuvo Haters. And I think Shuvo Haters were also having a bit of an eye on this match to see which teams could end up winning against them. But yeah, this is how the game at least looked on paper. If you see on paper, it just looks like a blowout. They didn't even make it to 3 Drakes for Revenants. They gave 1 Drake over to Tren Breaches, but that's all that they got in terms of jungle objectives. Yet again, 2 Drakes to Revenants, 3 Grubs to Revenants, Atakan to Revenants, goal difference of around 13k, 41 kills to 17 kills. As I said, if game 1 was domination, game 2 was an all-out stomp. And Revenants putting their mark on the scene. And this shows you why they were the 4th place team of qualifier 1, and they have it in them when the time needs to come. And they just barely even missed out on hitting 3rd place for qualifier 1. But yes, secured their place in our Legends Ascend tournament with this 2-0, with them heading up into the finals. But it's not over for Trend Abusers, mind you guys. There will be a 3rd, 4th place match between Trend Abusers and Jetfires to determine who ends up taking the 3rd spot in qualifier 2. But yes, let's hold all of that. Ezian, the man with a mission on this skate early on. The Syndra did a fantastic job later on in the game, but I think I have to give it to Ezian just for how he did so well in the early parts of the game. He got his bot lane so far ahead, basically camped them out, came down so many times, 8.6 CS per minute, 661 damage per minute. But the stats just don't tell the entire story about what this man has done on this game. When Dark Harvest, when Red Game, when complete lethality, was pretty much outdoing the opponent jungler, being that Kindred. And just well played to this man, and well played to the entire team of Revenants. Did a fantastic job. And I can't wait to see them tomorrow in the matchup between Shuvo Haters. Shuvo Haters, you have tough competition coming out your way. And I want to be the first one to tell you it's going to be a tough hill battle. I do think you guys have it in you to, take it all the way. Maybe win it out as well. But yes, it's not going to be an easy battle whatsoever between these 2 teams. I cannot wait to see more action coming in between them and how they really want to play around. As you can see, champion pools have been exposed quite a bit during the entire tournament, and Trend Abusers took a nice, different approach against a team like Revenants, against Potato, where they picked the smaller for themselves. It didn't work for them, but it opens up different, opportunities for other teams to play out, their drafts in different ways. So always a very interesting thing to be on the lookout for. That team are adapting, evolving, and continuously just pushing themselves forward in brand new ways. And with that being said, guys, that's going to be it, at least for now, for this qualifier. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for heated exchanges between Shuvo Haters and Revenants in the finals. That's been me, Madness, alone today, but hopefully in the future I will see you guys again. See you tomorrow.
Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, just tug. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the boys. I feel like Joel Embiid, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one.
Give you all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. Right on the way to the top. Right on the way to the top. Right on the way to the top.
the lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute, standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the boys. I feel like Joel and B, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch, 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 can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one. Give it all they got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 I'm going in. Flip the lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute, standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit zero. I'm fighting my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic duo. Win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's up. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the boys. I feel like Joel and B, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one.
Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. 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 The lead and I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. You're not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm finding my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give it all I got. I'm going to the top. I'm going in. Right on the way to the top. Right on the way to the top. Right on the way to the top. Right on the way to the top.
Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in, got me like, on grind. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's tug. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the boys. I feel like Joel and B, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one.
Give it all they got. I'm going to the top. I'm moving in. Right on the way to the top. 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 Flip these. They let it I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top, but I'm not finished. I just needed me a minute. Standing attention, lieutenant. I gotta get up and get it. All I'm focused on is winning. He not gonna cheat code. We win until the clock gon' hit Z. Whoa, I'm finding my way back like I was Nemo. Do it, I am a dynamic dude. Whoa, win, 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 and win. That's right, my nickname is winning. Gotta walk in the building, gotta inspire the children. When they see my ambition, I'm not a regular civilian. Give me all they got. I'm going to the top. I'm moving in. Right on the way to the top. Right on the way to the top. Right on the way to the top. Right on the way to the top.
Did it, I did it, I did it. I'm going in, got me like on grind. Gotta go up to the top, won't stop. I'm gonna be the man, yeah, I gotta cut a knot. Haters really on me, tryna take my spot. But we go up, yeah, we never gon' drop. Alright, yeah. 1, 2, 3, mic check, what's up? 2, 3 on my back, it's tug. Light years ahead, just call me Buzz. Hitting a shot in sync with the boys. I feel like Joel and B, the process, yeah, I trust. Accolades got them swallowing the words, cause I know that they doubted us. Touch her, touch, can't touch this. I know they throwing that dirt on my name. When I check on my tag, it be spotless. Look in the mirror and snap my fingers and point like you know you got this. Winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man, winning man. Who gon' stop this? No one.
Give it all they got. I'm going to the top. I'm moving in. Right on the way to the top. 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 Flip these. landing, I stick it. I came from the bottom to the top.